welcome back to my channel. Today's video is first weekly wrap up in 2022. I'm really excited. The year started really good. I read about 8 books and I'm going to list them from lowest rating to the highest rating, and I will be putting the timestamp in the description box down below in case you want to skip to a certain book. So whatever it is your interest is, you can click on that and skip the other stuff. Like I said, really good week, really good start to 2022. So the first book was a 2-star rating, which is the lowest rating that I have for this week, is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This is the first book in the Hazelwood duology, I believe it is. I think it's a duology. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100%, but I can tell you that I would not be continuing on with the series. And the only reason why I'm keeping this one is because this was an Alcray special edition and I don't want to get rid of it because I just love the cover. But when it comes to the story, I did not like it. I almost DNF'd it, but I continue on. I did like some of the stories that we get in the story, but the main character, I did not like her at all. And even though we find out the reason why she behaves the way she does, is still, I don't care, and I just didn't like her attitude. But anyways, we follow Alice and her mother. It has to do with fairy tales and it's a little bit creepy. She doesn't know her grandmother, and her mother one day gets kidnapped, and she leaves her a message not to go in the Hazelwood, and then things starts happening. But overall, this character, the main character, was very unlikable. I did like the character Finch, but I don't know, I just didn't care for this book. I would not continue on with the series, and that's all I'm gonna say. The next book, 3-star reads, is Ivory and Bone by Julie S. I hope I'm saying that right. I believe this is also a duology and it's been sitting on my shelves, and finally I decided to pick it up. I would not continue on with the series, even though I'm giving it 3 stars. It was kind of slow. We follow Cole. This is a prehistorical kind of Pride and Prejudice retelling, but to tell you the truth, I did not see it. It just went over my head. I don't know about that, but I did like the setting and I liked the tribe and everything else that had to do with prehistoric. But other than that, the story's very slow. The romance that we have is very slow burning, and we follow Cole. Like I said, I think I said that like 3 times already. Anyways, we follow Cole. He's part of a tribe. He's the elder son of the tribe, elder man, whatever they call them, and they are no woman, girls their age, for them to have families, take a wife, have families, and continue on with their family line. And then one day, here comes 3 people, 2 girls with their brothers, and then Cole gets immediate attraction to the girl Maya, that's supposed to be like Darcy, and then Cole is supposed to be like Lizzie, but that's as far as it goes when it comes to the attitudes. So anyways, when Maya gets there, right away Cole is like, wow, I am attracted to this person, and he wants to make come close to her, but Maya is not having any of it. She's not feeling the same way as he is. Things happen. Another tribe from another place also comes into the picture. Previously there was a war, but Cole didn't know why the war started, and then he starts finding out the things as we are learning things, the facts that happened, why there was a war between Maya's tribe and his tribe, and then we get all of that. But that's all I'm gonna say because I don't even think I'm making any sense. I gave it 3 stars. I would not continue on, and I think I will be donating this to my library. Okay, so the next book is Anxious People by Frederick Backman. He's one of my favorite authors. I gave this one 3.5 stars. Not my favorite, but not bad at all. We have a lot of characters like Backman. He makes you cry, he makes you laugh, it gives you all this emotion. This is about a bank robbery, this is about a suicide, this is about a lot of things. Not my favorite thing. I did like the ending though. That ending was good. Like I was like, okay. So supposedly it was sold as a bank robbery in a hostage situation. It's a little bit more than that. There's different stories, you know. You from the very beginning you get a story from a man at a bridge that he's ready to commit suicide, but then again you jump to the other story, and then you get little stories, and it was good but just not my favorite one. So I gave it 3.5 stars, and definitely since he's one of my favorite, I will continue reading his books. So yeah, the next book that I read is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedos. This is an On Voices Afro Latinx. I really enjoyed this one. I don't know what I was expecting, but the story that I got was not what I was expecting. So we follow, what is her name? Imani Santiago. We get the story of her, and she was raised by her grandmother, her abuela. She was raised by her abuela, and she got pregnant when she was in high school, but the story takes place during her last year in high school, and she wants to go to culinary school, and we get so many things from this book, and it was really good. Why didn't I give it 5 stars? Oh, one thing that annoyed me is like she kept calling her baby the baby. Like the baby, I don't even know what the baby's name is. Like, if she mentioned it, I was so annoyed that every time she talked about the baby, it was the baby, the baby, the baby, the baby. Anyways, we get her relationship and how she became pregnant. And even though she's raising her daughter and the baby's father is in the picture, he doesn't help her monetarily, but he does have a relationship with the baby, which is, I guess, it's good. But tell you the truth, that's why I took some points off. And then we get also the story with her father, because when she was young, her mother passed away, and the father just told the grandmother, oh, can you take care of her for like a week? And then I think he went back to the island of Puerto Rico and never came back. And then they used to talk over the phone, but they did not have the best father-daughter relationship. And we get to see that. And then we also get to see Imani, is that her name? Imani struggle, with going to school, raising her daughter, doing the right thing. And it was good. I really enjoyed it. 4 stars. I'm glad I read it. Was not what I was expecting. I knew there was something to do with food, which made me I wanted to eat. Like, all I wanted to do was like taste the food that she was talking about, because it was so good. It was so good. Glad I read it. I will pick up another book by Elizabeth Acevedo. I don't remember reading anything else from her. So yes, the next book that I read was The Therapist by B.A. Paris, and this is a 4-star read for me. This was really good. I was in the mood for this, so I picked it up. It was very entertaining, and I was just like trying to guess who was the perpetrator here, who was the guilty one. It was really good. So we follow Alice and her husband. They were dating, so they decide to move to London so that they can be together. I don't know how long they were together, it doesn't matter. They buy this house in a gated community, and her boyfriend Leo did not mention to her that the previous owner was murdered in her bedroom where they used to live, even though he did try to make changes and he did apologize. This created problems for them in the relationship, which tells you their relationship wasn't that strong to begin with. We follow all the people in this community, and everybody is guilty. Everybody's guilty. And I was just like, and even though for 1 second I was thinking that the person that was guilty at the end could probably be, I just like, nah, that person is not gonna be. And then I was like, why did I change my mind? Why? So anyways, this was really good. Definitely recommend it. Because one of the people that is guilty is someone from the community, and we get to know that because everybody, even though loved the previous owner of the house, everybody has something why they want her dead. And it was so good. It was so good. 4 stars. The next book is a 4-star read, and it's The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. I already packed the book, so I'm sorry. I just need to be more careful. But anyways, just put a picture here. I really enjoyed this one. Again, I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting to do that. The only reason why I'm giving it 4 stars is because I don't like the fact that she ended up with her ex-fiance's brother. So we follow, I believe her name is Carolina, and it's her wedding day. And here comes the brother-in-law and tells her that the fiance is not going to marry her, and she's stunned. She's like, what? Supposedly the brother decided not to marry Carolina because of something that the best man said to him. That is the story. I'm just gonna leave it as that. Anyways, things starts happening. Carolina is a wedding planner, and for some reason she ended up with Max. They ended up doing some planning, putting together like a presentation or a wedding gig that they both wanted, and things starts happening. They start, feeling attraction for each other. I love the romance here. That first time they had, it was awkward, very realistic, very likable characters. I just didn't like the fact that he was the brother of the ex-fiance, and then the ex-fiance comes later on in the story and he was a total ass. But nevertheless, I really enjoyed it. Glad I picked it up. And yes, the next book that I read was Pan's Labyrinth, another 4-star read, and it's in a box somewhere, so I put a picture. And this one is by by Guillermo del Toro. I was gonna say Benicio. Guillermo del Toro and some other lady. What's her name? Okay, so I had to look it up in Goodreads. So the name of the author is Cornelia Funke. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Anyways, this book follows Ophelia. She's a little girl, and it takes place in Spain during World War II. Her father died, so her mother remarried this man. So they go to live with this man. Of course, this was not a good situation for Ophelia because she, one, didn't like the man, but her mother had no other choice because of everything that was happening at the time in Spain. So the mother remarried. She gets pregnant. She's having a baby. The pregnancy is not, she's not doing so well with the pregnancy, and then the relationship between Ophelia and the stepfather is not really good. She went outside just to walk around to get away from her stepfather. While she was outside, she meets these fairies, and they're not all good. As you can see, this is dark story, is dark, a little bit creepy. The illustrations, I wish I had the book. I don't know which box it is. If not, I will dig it out to show you how beautiful the illustrations in these books are, and definitely gave it 4 stars. The maybe book that I read is one of my favorite ones, and I gave it 4 stars. That is The Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. I absolutely love this book. This is a reread. I believe I read this last year or the year before. I cannot remember, because I said I wanted to continue on with the series and finish the series. That never happened. So here I am again, 2022, repeating the same thing. I want to continue on with the series. This time I'm gonna do it. Still saying the same thing, but this year is going to happen. I will finish this series. I feel like I should give this book 5 stars because I like this so much. If you like Game of Thrones or Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, you're gonna love this. When you open the book, don't get scared. You are going to get a list of characters, but don't worry, we only follow 4 characters. We follow Cleo, which is the youngest Oranian princesses, Southern Kingdom, and then we follow Jonas, which is the youngest son of the wine cellar. And then at the beginning we also follow Thomas, but he doesn't last long, and I'll tell you in a little bit why. And then the Northern Kingdom, which is Limeris, and we follow Magnus and Lucia, and they both, Magnus is the prince of Limeris and Lucia is the princess of Limeris, is the sister of Magnus, and Lucia is the baby that they talked about in the prologue. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to give any spoilers, but don't get discouraged by that. The kingdom is divided into 3 sections. Like I said, when I was naming the names, we have Uranus, which is the southern kingdom. Then we have Pelsia, which is the middle kingdom. And then we have Limeris, which is the northern kingdom. So at the beginning of the story, in the prologue, we get the story of Lucia. Then years later, we're back in following these 4 characters. Like I said, don't get intimidated, because we only, even though you get all these characters, you only follow 4 characters. So years later, we get Cleo. She goes to the Middle Kingdom where Jonah and his family lives because they're going to pick up some wine, and Thomas, Jonas's brother, gets killed by Lucia's betrothed, and she could have stopped it, but she didn't. So then Jonah, throughout the book, he just wants revenge, except towards the end that he's like, things happen for him. He end up in a place where he's thinking about it, and he's thinking that he's going the wrong way. Then we have Magnus and Lucia, which are brothers, but then Magnus is feeling bad because he loved his sister, but in a romantic kind of way. And oh my god, this was so good. And then we get Cleo. She's like one of my favorites. I cannot tell you which one is my favorite character because I love something about each of the characters, but Cleo, she's kind of strong, and the way it ended, I cannot wait to pick up the second book. I believe is a Revel Spring or something like that. Don't quote me, I'm not sure. At least I have the book there that is ready to be picked up, but I absolutely love it. Like I said before, if you love Game of Thrones, Throne of Glass, I might say that is probably even better than Throne of Glass so far. And this is just the first book. I think I'm gonna change my rating to 5 stars because I just love this book. I love this book. So anyways, things starts happening. It ended really good, and I cannot wait to see what's gonna happen with all these characters, where they all end up. But Cleo, mwah, Magnus, Jonas, I did not like him at the beginning because all he wanted was revenge, but you can understand his brother Thomas got killed on the day of his sister's wedding, so you could understand. And these are the books that I read. So now I'm gonna let you guys know what I'm currently reading right now. I'm in the middle of 2 books. I am reading Vinland Saga book 3 finally. I think I only have the 3 books in this manga series. I'm up to here, really enjoying it. So I don't know if I'm going to continue on picking these books, because what happened was I read book 1 and 2, then I started this one and I forgot about it, but now I'm getting back into it. But I don't know if I'm going to continue on with the series, but because you know these books are a little pricey and there's a lot. So anyways, I'm reading this one, and I'm also started reading The Dragon's Chair by Tad Williams, and it's the first book in, let me see, actually the name of the book is Dragonbone Chair, and it's the first book in Memory, Sorrow and Thorn by Tad Williams. I'm reading this because of my books review. I'll link his channel in the description box down below. He is doing a buddy read or read along, whatever it's called. So I decided, since I read all those books, that it's okay for me to start a big, you know, book. I think there's only 3 books in this series. Let me see. But anyway, so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm reading this on my Kindle and I'm only 10% in, so I cannot say much other than really so far it's so good. Looks like it's a trilogy, so which is good. I can do a trilogy right now because, you know, just wait till I post my goals for this year. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do that video of series that I want to read this year, or you know, not finish but like at least start. So anyway, make sure to subscribe guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.